No, they didn't. I think as the game went on, I don't think it was a team. It was. I think there was definitely some individuals that made business decisions, and will make business decisions going forward as well.
So there's a lot of drama going on right now with the Las Vegas Raiders because of that presser that Antonio Pierce just did. Apparently, Antonio Pierce is putting it out there that there were some people that made business decisions and that the team will now make some business decisions as well. And things are kind of going crazy right now for the Las Vegas Raiders after losing a game in which the Raiders should have definitely won. To me, there's no reason why the Raiders should not have been able to beat the Carolina Panthers. But here we are on the other side of it, and things are kind of blowing up right now. So many people are talking about Antonio Pierce's words, and maybe Antonio Pierce just put something out there because he was angry after the fact. You know, they put so much time and effort coming into this week, and things just didn't go the way that they felt it should have ultimately went. Now, when Antonio Pierce is saying we need to make a business decision because someone wanted to make it during the game, that could mean a whole lot of different things. You know, last year, Marcus Peters was not willing to tackle. He wasn't willing to play physical and the type of football that the Raiders expected. And the Raiders released him come Monday. So maybe there's a player that the Raiders may ultimately release. Maybe it's a coach. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions at the end of this game. There are some things that I've heard as well that we'll get into. But there's also some speculation coming out from some of the Raiders reporters. Ryan Sakamoto, who's a Las Vegas Raiders beat reporter, said that he wouldn't be surprised if Raiders pulled Trayvon Merrick this week and replaced him with Isaiah Pola-Mao as a business decision. And he put in quotes, business decision. Obviously, he's saying that Trayvon Merrick continues to miss tackles in open space, gives up too much cushion from zone while getting caught flat-footed, or not taking the proper angles while he is scouting his game. Right? That's what he kind of sees from Trayvon Merrick. Now, keep in mind, this is one person's opinion. I don't 100% agree with exactly what Ryan Sakamoto is saying here. I haven't felt that I haven't personally felt like Trayvon Merrick has been really, really bad out there. Of course, he's missed tackles, as has Jack Jones. Jack Jones has been really, really bad at tackling, and he's been getting beat deep as well. But we've seen that kind of across the board with a lot of different guys. We've had a linebacker struggle in Robert Spillane tackling as well, right? He had one play earlier. I think it was a fourth down play, missed the tackle to get the first down. There's just so many different moments, right, where the Raiders on the defense side did not get it done. And we don't really know which guy it was. You know, some people were speculating it was Davante Adams. Someone posted this on Twitter and it went viral, and not viral, but it had a lot of likes, like over 600 likes. People are saying Davante Adams seems checked out, especially if you guys listen to his post-game presser.
It got to become a part of your identity. Like, it got to be who you show up as every day. It's not like just come out here, let's play hard like one day. It's more about like what the play style you have as a team. And we haven't established as a team on either side of the ball, any phase. Special teams, I mean, any of them. I think special teams probably been our most consistent over the last year and a half, 2 years, whatever. But it's about converting and being what you put on tape, not just having that be an experience.
To me, Davante Adams doesn't seem like he's checked out at any point. He's saying that you got to stay positive. Now, some people are saying, was Davante Adams out there with Aiden O'Connell? Like, I didn't actually see him. Well, I went back and I watched the game, rewatched the game. Davante Adams was definitely out there and Aiden O'Connell was on the football field. Now, Adams didn't actually get the ball from Aiden O'Connell, but he was definitely out there running routes. And I don't think Davante Adams was the guy that is apparently making business decisions. I don't think Davante Adams is going to get traded. I think the Raiders know where they're at with Davante Adams. I think Davante Adams has picked the Raiders and he's going to stick with the Raiders. I also don't think it's Trayvon Merrick, although, you know, I think there's a chance it's Trayvon Merrick over Davante. But there's other players that it could theoretically be, you know, and I think one of the things I'm going to do is go back and see which guys ultimately did not play at what point. You know, we know who starts on the defensive side. We know who starts on the offensive side. We do know that there's been some issues with Jackson Powers Johnson and Antonio Pierce, right? Coming into last week, Pierce obviously told us that he went and spoke to Powers Johnson, and Pierce told him, you know, essentially, we need you out there on the field, and Pierce told him why we essentially needed him out there. And it almost came off as in a way that Jackson Powers Johnson didn't necessarily want to be out there himself. I don't personally think Antonio Pierce was talking about Powers Johnson either. Powers Johnson did obviously go out there and play for the Raiders. He came in 2 separate times. I'm pretty sure he was in the game towards the end of the game. So I don't think he said anything related to Jackson Powers Johnson either. To be honest, I do think there were some players that may have, you know, been angry at the end of the game or whatever it was. And we'll find that out probably at some point this week. Now, there's also a chance that Antonio Pierce was talking about Luke Getsy, because Pierce, based off of what he was kind of saying, to me sounded like he was saying that the offensive scheme was not good, right? Check out what Antonio Pierce said in his presser and tell me if you guys agree with me that it almost seems like AP is talking about Luke Getsy in his offense.
So we had an opportunity to run the ball, and we didn't. We didn't do that at all. I mean, we tried and just, yeah, I would have booed us too, But offensively, defensively, we didn't do a good enough job up front. Scheme wasn't good enough. The design of the plays wasn't good enough today. What we thought was going to work didn't work, and on the grass we didn't execute, nor did we put up forth, to me, the effort that we had put up in games past.
To me, what Antonio Pierce is basically saying is that we tried to do certain things out there and it didn't work, right? We tried running the football, that didn't work. We're in situations where it was essentially 1st and 10, and on the next play it was 2nd and 8, right? We had some things, right, and it really just didn't work. And at a different time in his presser, and I didn't record it so you guys didn't see it, but go watch the presser. You guys will hear Antonio Pierce say it. But at a different moment in that presser, he said, we had a shot, right? We saw something. We knew at that time we were going to have something specific happen when the defense gave us some sort of look. He says, we didn't do what we had talked about in that moment, and then we didn't see that same look for, 15 plays later or 2 quarters later, or in other instances, we didn't see it all for the rest of the game. To me, that's an interesting thing for Antonio Pierce to say, right? Because essentially what he's saying is, we watched the tape and we had agreed that when we see this out there, we're gonna counter that with this concept here. And we're not sure if he's talking about Luke Getsy's offense, right? But it would only make sense that he's talking about either Luke Getsy's offense or Patrick Graham's defense. And maybe it is Patrick Graham's defense. Maybe there's a chance that Antonio Pierce is talking about Graham, but the thing is Graham's had a really, really good, first 2 weeks of the season. And it was really this week that the defense kind of struggled. So would it make sense that it's Patrick Graham, right, that Antonio Pierce is talking about? To me, it seems like he's, potentially talking about Luke Getsy. Now, I'm not sure what changes you can make with Luke Getsy. Some people are also speculating maybe the business decision came down to Gardner Minshew, right? As you guys know, Minshew did not play that final drive. So some people are saying maybe it's the quarterback that made that business decision. Maybe Minshew went out there and told the team that, hey, you know what? I threw that interception. That's not my fault. Or maybe it's on someone else for running the wrong route or whatever it is. And I'm not going back out through this game, right? This game's over, X, Y, and Z, or whatever it is. It could easily be Gardner Minshew as well that Antonio Pierce is talking about, right? So there's just so much we're going to find out this week. And it's unfortunate because the season is still so early for the Las Vegas Raiders. And we're already heading down this path where there's just unnecessary drama, right? There's things we don't really need to hear, right? Like right now, the Raiders should have lost the Panthers, went out there and said, hey, you know what? We tried. It didn't work. On to the Cleveland Browns. And that's not where we're at. Instead, we have Pierce saying that we're going to make, a player made a business decision or someone made a business decision, and now we're going to go ahead and make that same decision on our end, right? To me, it's unfortunate that that's kind of where we're at because we don't know which player it is. It could be the quarterback. It could be the receiver. It could be a safety. It could be the 5th defensive lineman. Like, we don't know, right? And I do hope that the Las Vegas Raiders do get it fixed. And I do hope whatever it is rallies the group and it does allow the group to look forward to next week's game and potentially get some wins. At the end of the day, if there's a player that is not bought into the Las Vegas Raiders scheme and system, get rid of that guy, right? And I know there's some people that are also going to say, hey, Antonio Pierce is not a good coach. He shouldn't be calling his players out. I disagree with that. Right? If a player does not want to go out there, let's just say it's Gardner Minshew, and he really didn't want to go out there on that final drive. If that's the case, then cut his ass. Get rid of him. Right? If it's a different guy, if it's like a corner, or if it's a safety, or if it's a tackle, or whatever it is, get rid of that guy. Man, there's no point of having those type of guys here. At the end of the day, it takes an entire team to come together to be able to win football games. It's any given Sunday, as the Raiders found out against the Panthers this week, and as the Ravens found out last week. Any given Sunday, anyone can win. I'm still confident that the Raiders are still a 8 to 11 win team, especially if they're able to come together and do some things on the offensive side, which they have the playmakers to do, right? They might not have the structure and the coaching to be able to get them there, but they got the playmakers. There's not a lot of teams with better playmakers than the Raiders. Brock Bowers had a massive play right before half, and those are the type of plays this guy can make with just touching the ball once. Trey Tucker had a 53-yard catch, essentially, And that's him touching the ball once. Like, we have explosive ass playmakers on the offense. We just need the coaching staff to put it together. So hopefully, whatever the issues are, the Las Vegas Raiders are able to clean it up. And we'll see what ends up happening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.